Hello and welcome. This is Not So Live, and this is episode 33. So, normally I don't do a video on a Thursday, so I thought I'd mix it up and bring you a video bright and early. So, last year I did a trip to Liverpool. Overnight stay, and I did the Magical Mystery Tour, and also I did the Merseyside barge trip, which was fantastic. Then it was, I'd say, about 40 minutes long. The Magical Mystery Tour, probably around an hour to 2 hours, I think. Both fantastic tours, really enjoyed them. Like I say, it was only an overnight stay. I did the bus tour on the first day, and then on the second day I did the boat trip. So I have got a few photos in this episode that I'll be sharing with you, and I hope you enjoy the episode. So the first photo I'll be sharing is a picture of two of the Beatles' houses. The first one, I'm not 100% sure whose house it is, and the second one, it's Paul McCartney's house from when he was a child. That's where his mum and dad lived, and they've kept it as how it would have looked back then. So these are the two houses you get off the bus and get to walk up to and take photos and stand outside of. And the coach also pulls up outside of John Lennon's old house where he was raised by his auntie. You don't get off the coach there, it's just on a main road, but you do park up for a short time. So yes, this photo I've just put up is of the bus, the Magical Mystery Tour. You can book online for this event, and you get picked up, and the gentleman that was running it last year were fantastic. You get to go to Penny Lane and Strawberry Fields. I have photos of the gate at Strawberry Fields, which I'll be sharing with you later. And there's also a lovely bit of artwork I managed to snap a shot of while we was heading to a location. It's of a mural on the side of a building, and the artwork is absolutely fantastic. So the photo was actually took while I was on the tour bus, and we was going down the street, so I managed to take a quick photo. And the photo of the red gate is the entrance to Strawberry Fields, and this is mentioned in one of the Beatles songs, and I'm 100% sure that that gate is actually a replica. It's not the actual gate that was there back then. But like I say, the tour itself is fantastic. I've not actually got a photo of the Penny Lane sign, but there is plenty on Google to look at. It's quite mad to think that it's just a street in Liverpool, and when you pull up, it's just the signpost is just on a corner. There's one side and one the other side of the road, and it's just like an average everyday street. So the two photos I just put up, the first one is of Liverpool docks. I remember there was a great little sweet shop there, had some retro style chocolate and sweets, heavily Beatles themed, but obviously that's to be expected. But it was a nice little shop, some nice little, if you're looking to buy some little goodies to take back home, or for family members, great little shop to go into. I know near the docks there's the Beatles Museum as well. I didn't actually get a chance to go in there, but I've heard people say it is good. And if you're a big fan of the Beatles, it is definitely worth going into and having a tour or just a look round. And the second photo, obviously, as you can see, is just a post, a signpost saying Matthew Street that was on the wall. This is a famous street where the cavern is. So this is the cavern. The first picture was took. It was quite full that night, as you can see by the photo. There was a live band on, and the second photo is a close up of the ceiling. If you've not been in the cavern, it is really low and you feel like you're enclosed. So if you do suffer with claustrophobia, it's probably not too good to go down there when it is packed, because you do feel like really like closed in. In the day though, when there's not a lot on, it's not as enclosed. You've got a bit more space, but they do have a low ceiling. And the second photo is just showing you the brickwork and the walls. Even the ceiling is just covered in people writing their names and stuff. And there's a few places where celebrities have been in there and they've actually written their name and the date that they was there. So that's quite interesting. You get yourself a drink from the bar. There's also a red telephone box down there and photos and stuff. You can have your photo took inside or outside of the phone box. And there's like memorabilia and other photos on the walls of celebrities and stuff that have played or have visited the cavern. I heard that it's not the actual cavern the Beatles played in during their time, like in the 60s and stuff. I heard a story that was flooded and the cavern was moved. I don't know if it was further down or further up. And so it's like all the caverns look the same, so this is kind of like a replica to that, of what it would have looked like back then. So the next photo is the Cavern pub. This was my first time going into this pub. I'd been in the actual cavern before, but not this place. And there is a lot of photos and memorabilia in there, so you can get yourself a drink, sit down. From the photos you can tell they have live entertainment on there and a singer and stuff, and you can just sit there and just soak in all the atmosphere and just look around and look at all the stars and celebrities and like all the memorabilia they have on the walls and stuff and behind glass cabinets. And it's really nostalgic, especially if you're a big fan of the Beatles. So the last two photos, the one building has got the famous Liverpool bird on. This bird is also on the Liverpool football strip, and I don't actually know of the name of the bird. I've had a memory blank on that one. This was took as I was waiting to go on to the trip up and down the Mersey. The building actually reminds me of a building you'd find in New York, And obviously the second photo was took on the trip itself. The trip is fantastic. You go up the Mersey and there's a person that explains the one side of the shore, and then the boat turns round and goes back down, and the person then explains the other side of the Mersey and what's on the shoreline. And there is a ton of history just up and down that stretch of water. And if my memory serves me right, I'd say it was around an hour, 40 minutes or an hour, probably a bit longer, I'm not 100% sure. But if you get a chance, I definitely recommend taking the trip. It is a brilliant adventure. It's the only way I can explain it. They do serve food and drink on the boat. We managed to get on top. The seats were a bit funny. You sort of sat down, but they sort of dipped, so your legs sort of was off the floor. But then once the boat starts moving and they start talking and you're looking around, you just kind of feel like, you don't even feel like you're sat there. It's just like you're just too engrossed in what's being said and the views that you can see. So I found it really interesting. So that is all for this episode. I hope you've enjoyed. I thought I'd mix it up and add a few pictures in rather than just having the normal screens that I have and just talking, and it just sort of breaks up the video a little bit. So yes, I hope everyone's enjoyed the video, and as always, thank you to the people that view the videos, who like, subscribe, and even to the ones who have commented as well. I say the comments are always welcome on the videos, and I shall be back tomorrow. It's finally getting close to Friday, and I hope everyone's looking forward to the weekend. I will catch you all again soon.